But when you want to pick side on these type of topics that are quite controversial, and you want to be vocal about it, and you want to make content on it, you better stand what you say, because people will find the evidence to prove otherwise. We're going to be talking about Kinky Mation. She made a video, 1 hour 30. We're not going to be watching the whole thing. I will leave the original in the description. You guys can go watch it if you want. But I want to talk about this video because it kind of pissed me off. Because she is a hypocrite, right? And we do not like hypocrites. Because she is, this video 1 hour 30, she is rating character designs in NIKKE based in she would draw them or not. And that premise is pretty cool, right? As an artist, would you draw these characters or not? That's the whole video, an hour 30. The problem is that through the video, as you can see by the like-dislike ratio, she comes off as petty. Really fucking petty and annoying. And not because her general art or anything or what she wants to draw, but because the comments she makes along the way. So we're gonna have to be talking about a couple of the comments. I will show them, and then I will show some of the reference that I found as to why she's a hypocrite. So first of all, I cannot show her profile because it's full of not safe for work, all right? I can't. Kinky Mation, amazing art, really cool art, like really cool art. Examples of her art right here, all right? She draws really good art. The problem is it doesn't matter if you draw really good art if you are a hypocrite this big. So let's go over the points and what I want to talk about. I took some notes. I watched this offline because again, it's an hour 30. I don't want to watch this on stream. I think it's too much. So there is multiple things that she talks. So let's go one by one. First, she talks about how the game story is good, but the fan service is not needed in a game like NIKKE because the story then loses that dark tone, right? She is like, the story is super good, but then you see the ass jiggling and it doesn't make sense. And it's like, okay, that doesn't mean anything, literally. There is Stellar Blade, there is Bayonetta, there is any Korean MMO with good story, Lost Ark, doesn't matter which MMO you pick, Korean will have fan service and probably a decent story. So at that point was like, okay, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But all right, let's ignore that point. That didn't bother me too much. I will leave this for the last one because this was the one that pissed me off. All right, I will leave this for the last one. He also complains about designs not made for battle on certain manufacturers. I could understand this complaint if you don't play the game, because you might think that every character is ready for battle, but the reality is that in NIKKE, we have squads and different manufacturers. And so different manufacturers have different functions inside the world of NIKKE, inside the arc. We have squads that just keep order. So the police squad, right? The ACPU with Polly, with Miranda, with Quiri, etc. We have the fighters coming soon. We have school teachers because we have a school inside NIKKE as well on the arc, the MMR school. You have people running the onsen with Ludmila on Christmas, right? You have all of the squads doing different things. For someone who doesn't play the game, I can understand not getting that point. Completely fair. Like, again, nothing too much. Just wanted to point out why this was stupid, because again, if you don't play, I can understand not understanding it. But if you are looking through the story, even me, who I skip, I understand why every manufacturer does. Right? So that's the other thing. And then she also complained about gun recoil and the game not being realistic. And I'm like, okay, I could understand it from like the perspective of someone who wants a realistic shooter game, right? I could understand that, but then it's like when you download NIKKE, it's not because it's a realistic shooter. It's not, right? It's not because it's a realistic shooter. When you are downloading NIKKE, it's clearly for specific reasons that we all can agree on, right? Then the story will keep you on, the soundtrack, the events, everything else. Fan service can only draw you in for so long before it's boring. NIKKE, the whole package is pretty good. So she complains about the recoil. I don't care about the recoil. So again, the recoil not being realistic, the manufacturers not being all made for battle, and then the story being dark, meaning it can have fan service, are minor complaints
cyborgs.
that are stupid.
Should a cyborg have problems with recoil?
Yeah, exactly.
They should be scrapped.
So all of those things were like, okay, I could understand for someone who doesn't play, but through the video, multiple times, she says one thing that pisses me off, okay? School uniforms in the game, we do not do that here, all right? She does not like lollies. She clearly, multiple times through the video, is like, I don't like this design because it's young. It's a young-looking character. Listen to this.
It's very, very refreshing to hear that. Thank you so much. You guys know I don't particularly jive with the schoolgirl.
Sorry, let me put actually on one-time speed.
You from someone who actually has handled firearms. It's very, very refreshing to hear that. Thank you so much. You guys know I don't particularly jive with the schoolgirl uniforms usually because they imply high schooler and we don't do that shit.
They imply high schoolers and we don't do that shit. If that is where you want to stand on the debate of lollies and fictional characters, great. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. The problem is that, like I said at the start of the video, this girl draws not safe for work. So you better the fuck back up your words with what you're saying, not being a sellout lying bitch. Sefhi, you're too aggressive. I don't care. So let's go through some of your art, because you don't like high schoolers. And again, this is not the only time she says this during the video. She says this plenty of times during the video. Plenty of times. Okay? So let's go through her art, right? Because she got famous because of Genshin Impact. You might be thinking, okay, Sefhi, Genshin Impact. Even though the main target of Genshin Impact is clear who it is, a younger audience, when you go to her Twitter and you go to her Genshin Impact art, in the comments, most of the time you will see kids asking her for specific ships. Draw this character with this character, please. Oh, draw this character with this character, please. Right? Most of the time. Still, Genshin, we could be like, all right, we don't know the ages, it's not super specific. Okay. We don't care too much. But then she also have hentai of Frieren. And it's like, okay, Sefhi, but it's an elf. It's just, it's an elf, 3,000-year-old, but looks young. And it's like, all right. We could let it slip a little bit. But then you keep looking through her art. And she has also from Dr. Stone, which they are high schoolers, and you have hentai of this girl. And the protagonist, and everything. So it's like, okay, you don't like high schoolers, but me, 10 minutes looking into your art, I can find multiple. Now let's go into the last one and the best one, because again, she does not like high schoolers because what it implies. But she has more than 5, 6 that I could see in 10 minutes of who? Oh, we're still missing one. Aqua, and of course, some of the Konosuba characters as well. This is not the good one. This is not the good one. The best one. Which one it is? You all know it's coming. You all know it's coming. Multiple characters from Blue Archive. A really good art style, by the way. Again, your art, it's really good, but why do you say you don't like Blue Archive characters when you have multiple pieces? Right? Why do you say you don't like high schoolers when you are only drawing young characters? Like, I understand if you want to stand on that side of the fence, all right? All good. You want to say, I don't like lollies because they remind me of young girls? Perfect. It's fine. But then you better not be a fucking lying bitch because you're profiting from this type of same characters you hate. Again.
Because gotta get those brownie points.
Yeah, she is literally a not safe for work artist. She lives off her art and she mostly draws underage fucking fictional characters, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Multiple instances with that. So it's like, okay, what are you complaining about? And that pissed me off a lot because during this 1 hour 30-minute video, multiple times you say, I don't like high schoolers. We don't do that here. Again, listen to this again.
Particularly jive with the schoolgirl uniforms usually because they imply high schooler and we don't do that shit.
We don't do that shit. You don't do high schoolers, huh? Okay. Yeah, I guess this art is not yours, really. I guess I just found someone else. I guess I found someone else then. And this was 10 minutes, me going through her Twitter profile, being like, okay, let's see if she stands where she's saying, right? Let's see. And in 10 minutes, I could find plenty of examples. More than 5 or 6 Blue Archive pictures, multiple Frieren arts, a couple from Dr. Stone and other animes where the characters are also high schoolers, and also Konosuba, which, same as Frieren, you could say she's a goddess, 3,000-year-old, right? Still, once again, really good art, really hypocrite artists. If you want to stand on a side, when you pick sides on this type of, it's not political really, right? But when you want to pick side on this type of topics that are quite controversial, and you want to be vocal about it, and you want to make content on it, you better stand what you say, because people will find the evidence to prove otherwise, if there is, right? If there is. So just wanted to point this out. The video itself comes off as petty because during multiple times,
PDF, wap.
During the multiple times she says the same thing, and it kind of pissed me off. But yeah, nothing else. I want to talk this. You guys can watch the video yourself, judge on your own if you want. Once again, her art amazing if you want to follow her. Her personality clearly is shit because, well, anyone that's a hypocrite and lies, I personally don't like, right? But her art is really good. That said, you can keep profiting of little kids that like Genshin Impact, making art of high schoolers fucking each other, and then complaining on the video that you don't do that here because you have a higher moral ground. Love you all, bosses, and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。